Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. I think I may have actually have defeated the technical problems today. Not entirely, but here's hoping that this is working. For those who don't know, the stuff that's going on, my show Dylan Knows is a weekly video show, the best video show on YouTube ever. Well, the assistant's a close second, I guess. Comic Hall's a close third, which are two other shows that I do. Anyway, and I do have a viewer. Fantastic. Anyway, last week I was supposed to do my paranormal show with Daphne Du, Larissa, and after a few goes, because I still have the technical issues getting stuff set up and stuff like that, because computer is old and I need to get a new one, and I will be for Christmas. My microphones weren't working. I could hear Larissa, but she could not hear me. And tried a whole bunch of different things. I have like 5 or 6 different headphones. None of them were working. So I said, okay. I tried multiple times, restarted the show over and over again, tried different things here and there, volume tests, volume here and there, nothing happening. So I canceled the show, which I've done 2 other times in the history of Dylan Knows. One where I'm trying to remember, the tech issues were really bad also, and the other one was because I was on vacation and the Wi-Fi at our place stank. So, and I lost my viewer. Oh well. I will be talking more about stuff, so don't you worry about that. Hopefully you'll come back. Hopefully you're hearing me and you didn't leave because you couldn't hear me. But so I decided I was going to go out and buy new headphones. And I wanted to test them out. And our friend, Official Pagan, Mike, gladly decided to help me out, and it wasn't working. So we had to bag what we were going to do. So I started looking, and then I checked a few things here and there, and then I discovered a link or something. I had to click on something and somehow turn the microphone on, which I'd never had to do before, but who knows. So I decided to do a test. I ran a test on YouTube, and it worked spectacularly. So I tried to get back with Mike, but he's probably moved on to other business, so we'll catch up again on that later. But now I decided I was going to try this again, just to see this works, because I am planning to do a show of Dylan Knows on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. And there's my lovely wife. I'm just doing a Dylan Knows episode live just to test out stuff. Mike hasn't come back on, but that's all right. Yes, I just had a conversation with my wife during the show. Hey, you don't see that in any other show, do you? YouTube? Come on. This is real life here, people. Anyway, so I'm hoping this is working. And if it is, fantastic. I have conquered that. I'm still have issues getting things set up and so on and so forth, and that's probably going to take some time, Preston's, but we'll see what happens. All right. Holly is retweeting stuff. Stardust is retweeting stuff. So you're seeing things go. But we're not here to talk about that. So for now, this is just what I'm going to try to do. Let me talk about what's coming up on Sunday. My show is usually 12:30 p.m. on Sundays. Not this week due to my co-host Bronwyn. We will be doing Dylan Knows International. Bronwyn will not be able to do the show until 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's going to be a late start on Sunday, but we will be doing a Sunday episode as long as this microphone is working, and this is what this is a test for. I mean, I still have my viewer back, so apparently somebody can hear me. So that's fantastic, and what we're going to be doing is Dylan Knows International is a roundtable show where Bronwyn and I and a bunch of guests just talk about whatever we feel like talking about. I've only got one other guest for this week, and that's Amy Figaro, who is a popular attraction on Snarkalic Radio, which I'll be talking about in a few minutes. So she will be on, and we'll be discussing all kinds of cool things. I think we're doing Guilty Pleasures, which I've been putting off for months. Not not because I don't want to talk about it, just because other stuff has come up. We'll be doing our rant, and I'm going to try to do a few other things as well. So we'll see what's going on. And then hopefully I might be able to rehook up with Larissa, and we might be able to get our other episode done sometime soon. But Thanksgiving is coming very quickly. That reminds me, this is a 5th Sunday in November. What we're going to plan to do for my 5th Sunday on November 30th is I'll be joined by Mandy and maybe some other people. I got to check. We'll be talking Dylan Knows beer. This is my beer right here. Yes, that's November 30th. However, due to the earth-shattering news in the Snarkalk world that was been rumored about the last couple days and is now officially put up on the website, we may, once December hits, we may be looking at some different things going on. I want to talk a little bit about the future of Dylan Knows, and I want to talk a little bit about the shoot, I had the word in my head, the legacy of Snarkalk Radio. Oh, thank you, Holly. Holly can hear me. Yay. So this is working perfectly. So I solved one technical problem, so hopefully I'll be able to solve others later on, and I won't have to deal with this anymore. But let me just discuss a little bit about the future Dylan Knows. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't, because one leads to another. For those Snarkalks who don't know, and I haven't gotten any okay from Tony, Kelly, or Mike, but there is a press release, as they call it, up on our website, the Snarkalks website. December 11th will be the final episode of Snarkalk Radio. Snarkalk Radio has been running about 2 years, and without Snarkalk Radio, there would be no Dylan Knows. There might be an assistant, but probably not. But definitely there would not be a Dylan Knows. Snarkalk Radio is where I got my start in doing this type of stuff, and I will forever be grateful to Tony, Kelly, Mike, and Mel for giving me this opportunity to come on the show multiple times, having Dawn come on the show multiple times. I know she enjoyed it as well. And having Tony, one of the proudest moments of my life, and I'm not making this up, I'm not blowing smoke up people's asses or whatever. You can see me too. Thanks, Holly. See what I'm drinking, Halls? Yeah, it's not Crown, but it's something, right? But and I'm not blowing smoke or whatever, but one of the greatest moments of my life that made me feel really proud is when Tony approached me and said, Dylan, how would you like to do a show? It would never really crossed my mind before, and the fact that Tony had such faith in me that he would gladly support the show, which he has, and it really made me feel good. And he was my technical guy for the first 4 or 5 episodes of Dylan Knows until I took it over, and that was the way it was always going to be. He wanted to ease me into doing it myself, and I definitely need to have the man on again. I haven't had him on for a while. He might be freed up a little bit now, so I might be able to get him on for more often. But I will always be grateful to Tony for giving me this opportunity to do the show. And without Snarkalk Radio, as I said, there would be no Dylan Knows. Snarkalk Radio was a great show, still a great show. Start off with Tony, Kelly, and Mel talking Walking Dead, and not really much else. Some other stuff in there, and then gradually they started building and building. They started bringing in guests, myself included, Mike, who soon became a co-host once Mel decided that she wanted to leave, which was absolutely cool. And they've had her back on multiple times before. They've had many Snarkalks on. They've had many special guests: Rebecca Kennedy, Allison Victoria, just to name a few. I can remember off the top of my head because right now it's 9:52 and my mind is all bleh. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. A lot of the cast of We're Alive, just all kinds, and then just meeting new people, going all the way down and having someone from Australia being on the show with Rachel being on the show like that. So Snark Alec Radio has had a lot. Getting Gerald Webb on the show, obviously multiple times as well, is a big deal, and they were great, and they still are, and hopefully they will be collaborating again on other things as well, and maybe we'll see some special editions of Snark Alec Radio whenever things come about. I understand their decision, and I respect their decision. My show's a little bit easier, I guess, to continue on, which it will be, because I have, and this once again was Tony's idea, different genres I talk about every week. So, there really is going to be no let up, because I will always have a specific theme set for every weekend. And sometimes I might have to make some changes here and there, but that's okay. I've got ideas for new stuff, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well. And cool stuff like that. So Snark Alec Radio will forever be a big part of my life. And I will miss it. But it's not as if we're not going to keep talking to Tony or Kelly or Mike. We're still Snark Alec. Snark Alec group is not dissolved. It's just our radio show. Their radio show is gone of their own volition, their own decision. They wanted to do it. And as I said, I respect them for that. But that doesn't mean that that's the end of Snark Alex. No, of course not. We're getting stronger, and we're still going to be around. And we're going to be around for a long time. And we're going to keep being around. So don't look at it as a sad thing. Look at it as, it was a good run, but times change, things change. As I said, there's still lots of other legacies to it. Not just my show, Dylan Knows, but Jeans has her show, Bring Out Your Geek. Nurture and Support, the podcast that Kelly does with Mel. They do that as well. It's still there too. So you're still going to see us. You're still going to see me all the time, because I can't get enough of this. I don't think I'll ever give up doing this show. I could change my mind down the line, but right now I don't think I ever will, because, as I said before, I love doing this show. This is the cherry on the top of my Sunday, of my weekend, and it has made the years go by so quickly. I mean, I've been on for over a year now, and I can pinpoint doing a weekly show, that I've done over 52. This is episode 60. I've done over 52 episodes. I've done 60. So I've done over a year's worth of stuff. And it seemed like only yesterday that I did my first episode. And here I am on episode 60. And I said, I don't think I'm ever going to give this up, because I'm too much of an egomaniac. And I like to hear myself talk a lot, as everyone out there knows. So what does that mean for Dylan Knows? Nothing really. Sunday was, my decision. Tony suggested doing it on a weekend, and I decided Sunday 12:30 would be a good time. It doesn't always work out to be that way, because it is a weird time, and I don't get a lot of viewers because it is a weird time. During the season now, football's going running rampant right now, and people are doing their weekend stuff, so the show doesn't really get too much play during the weekends. But I was never going to take over Thursday slot, because that was Snark Alec Radio. I'm taking it over now because they're not doing an episode tonight. They're not going to obviously do one next weekend, because that's Thanksgiving. I will be doing my show, as I said, on Sunday, and I'll be doing my show again on the 30th also. So I'll still be around, but that's probably all you'll see me around for. But what does that mean? Oh, good. Thank you very much. Helena and John are watching. So Helena and John, hi guys. We got to get you guys on Dylan Knows again sometime. So this is fantastic. Is there a possibility that I might move the show to a Thursday night slot? I don't know. I kind of let my weekend slot. Not all the time, but sometimes. It's fun to do it, especially when there is no football season. There's nothing else going on, and it's a good way to end the weekend knowing full well that on Monday you're going to go into work, and it's a fun way to just put the end game to your, or as I said before, the cherry on your ice cream sundae to your weekend. Would I do a Thursday? Would I move to Thursday if asked? Yeah, maybe. It also depends upon my co-host, because I have a co-host for every one of my shows. I know MJ likes to watch his shows during the week, so he probably would not like to be on a Thursday night. I've had him on Friday prime time before. I've had him on Saturday nights before, so he's okay with that. Actually, I don't think I've ever had him on Friday night, but I've had him on Saturday night though. Does that mean I'm going to move my show to Thursday night? Who knows? At this point, I have no plans to. I like my Sunday slot, and if I need to make changes, I do. I mean, that was one of the ongoing running jokes of Snark Alec Radio, which I always found funny also, was that I know these guys liked what I was doing and felt comfortable enough that they could joke and insult me, which I never took as insults. I took them as jokes because I know them and I knew what they were saying. And I knew what they were saying about. I never know what time my show was going to be on, because with these technical difficulties, a 12:30 show might not start till 1:30, might not start till 1 o'clock, because it took me forever to get them set up. And sometimes I did the primetime shows. Like I've done a bunch on Saturday night. I've done some on Saturday afternoon. I've done some on Friday night. I did one episode on a Tuesday once. So I've got more free reign. I can do it whenever. And so as I said, do I have any plans to move to Thursday? No. Would I do a show on Thursday? Yeah, sure. I could do a show on Thursday if I want. I wouldn't mind. So that would give me another option, maybe, if I need to find. Oops, there's my kitty. If I need to find another time if one of my co-hosts couldn't make it, or if there was a guest that I wanted to talk to on the air and they couldn't do the weekends, I could do it during the week. Thursday gives me an opportunity to maybe play around with some stuff. But as of now, my show is still going to be on Sundays, but just keep an eye on my Twitter feed if times, dates change. As I said, Sunday shows at 4:30 p.m. So everybody out there, watch 4:30 p.m. And if you were a fan of Snark Alec Radio and might not have ever seen my show, check it out. You might like it. You might not. You probably won't. But I enjoy doing it, and I got some great guests on. The first Sunday of the month, I do my comic book show with MJ Khan. We have a blast. We talk not just comics, but we talk about comic book movies and TV shows, and we've had some special guests on before, and then we're going to have some interesting stuff coming up. Next year is the anniversary of DC Universe's Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was a major turning point for the DC Universe, and MJ and I will be joined by DH Gamer and possibly by Murder Lotta to do a roundtable discussion of the Crisis. Won't be till March or April, but we'll be doing that. Speaking of which, December 7th? Yes, December 7th, my next comic book show. We will have our friend Murder Lotta on the show. Jay will be on the show with us, so it'll be me, MJ, and Jay. It'll be a lot of fun. So we've got the Crisis thing coming up. We've got Avengers 2 coming up next year. We've got Ant-Man coming up next year. So we'll be able to sit down and discuss those. Should be interesting to see where Marvel's going with that. We've got Flash TV show. We've got Constantine. We've got Arrow. We've got Gotham. So we've got a bunch of Marvel and DC comic book TV shows come up. We got more coming down the pipeline, so we'll be talking about those also. We'll also be talking about what's going on in comics. Marvel's got a crazy story thing coming up in the summer for their huge crossover, which we will probably be discussing. DC is starting their Convergence, which is their version of the new 52's version of Crisis, we're assuming, so we can discuss that as well. And something else I haven't planned, MJ doesn't know about this part because I just came up with the idea not too long ago, and I got to run this up the flagpole, but next month is December. It is the holiday season. I may try to get a show together with MJ and some other people. Preferably, I'm trying to aim for the Comicosity ladies, who are fantastic. Show like this to talk about comics on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Get them to have all of us sit down together and discuss our holiday gift ideas for the comic book fan in your life. So that's the idea I might have. We got to run it past them really soon to get some dates and stuff set up. Now, week 2 is thank you, Holly. Yeah, I can't wait for Avengers: Age of Ultron also, and I guarantee you, MJ and I will be talking about it when it comes out. So, but probably do sort of like similar what we did with Captain America: Winter Soldier. We will probably see it that weekend, and then that Sunday, which will be the first Sunday of the month, we will sit down and we'll discuss it in depth. Spoilers, more likely. So we'll be talking about that as well. My second week of the month is my list show with Gigi Fletcher. Jerry and I, we come up with lists of varying sizes. We've had a 10, obviously. We've had 5. We've had 6. We've had 8, I think we had at one time. We had 15 maybe at one point. I don't remember. We've done so many of them. But we make a theme, and we discuss it, and top 10, like the one we just did was the top 10 Thanksgiving ideas, not ideas, Thanksgiving memories, stuff that we do for Thanksgiving. We talked about the Macy's Day Parade and the food and shopping and all kind of stuff, and I will be posting that again around Thanksgiving because it was one of my favorite episodes of Dylan Knows Lists. What do we got upcoming? It's a month-to-month list. We just have the next month listed as, our December Christmas special episode will be our top Christmas carols of all time, Christmas songs, we should say, of all time. We don't have a time. We don't know how many it's going to be yet because we haven't actually sat down and physically wrote them all out. But since we're just going to be talking about music and songs, it's not going to be that. There's not much you can discuss about them. So it could be a pretty lengthy list, about 20 plus pieces. So we'll see. Maybe top 25 Christmas carols. We'll see. So we got that coming up, and that's, as I said, it's a month-to-month basis. We don't really know what's coming month to month. It's an idea that we sit and discuss, try to figure out what we want to do best. Third week is Dylan Knows Paranormal. With Larissa. We discuss all things paranormal, supernatural. There may be some changes coming to that, but not for the foreseeable future. I'm going to hope to try to do our delayed Apocalypse episode, which I want to discuss. I want to do that again. And we need to talk to writer Jonathan Ryan, who wrote Three Gates of the Devil, I think, which is a great horror supernatural book, and his sequel, The Dark Bride, is coming out soon. If I'm butchering the names, Jonathan, I'm really apologize for that. And then my fourth week is Dylan Knows International with Bronwyn, who is Canadian, and we, as I said, we do a roundtable. We discuss whatever we feel like. Some upcoming ideas. This one is one I want to do, but it's a matter of figuring out the timing because I want to talk to Rachel in Australia and Matthew in England and Bronwyn in Canada and me in America all at the same time. The only problem is time changes. Rachel's 13 hours ahead of us. Matthew's about 6 hours ahead of us. So it doesn't really jive about what time that is. So we're working on that to try to figure that out. But that's one of the goals I have for that. We also have our Dylan Knows International Halloween episode got delayed. I forget. I think there was the weekend we had chosen was just a bad weekend for everybody involved. And I think we just ended up doing the Twin Peaks show, I think. That our Halloween, because we have a special theme that we don't want to discuss right now with Mike and Brianne and Bronwyn and I. We want to do that, and we're going to do that down the line as well. And as I said, Sunday 4:30 p.m. Bronwyn and I welcome Amy Frigaro, Amy Glitters on Twitter, who's been on Snark Alec Radio a number of times to our show, and it should be a blast. Will there be another guest? Who knows? I like 4, but as of now, we only have 3, and I'll put out there. So I'll put out there right now. Anyone who's watching, hit me up on Twitter at Holodill. I can only do one more person because I don't want to go too much because it'll be too much. If you want to be on the show, Dylan Knows International, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday with Bronwyn and Amy and I. Let me know, and I will let you know if I can fit you in, get you in. All right. So we got that. And then, as I said, we have a 5th week. Not all the time. It's like 3 or 4 a month. There's a 5th week, not a month, I'm sorry, 3 or 4 a year, where there's a 5th Sunday. And since I don't have a theme for a 5th Sunday, it's always something different. As I said, November 30th is going to be our beer show. We've done Doctor Who shows before. I've done potpourri shows before. Once again, it was like the precursor to Dylan Knows International, where these potpourris were just talking about whatever we felt like. So, there might be down. I might do a Star Wars one. We might do a Jaws one. Just to discuss. We're probably gonna do Twin Peaks again because we did Twin Peaks earlier with the McGevnas and Mike. We're gonna come back and probably do that. So we got that for 5th week. So that's what Dylan Knows is, and once again, all that is due to the fantastic Snark Alec Radio. Now, I do have to show that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I do have an idea for another Dylan Knows show, and I don't know when I would do it. I would like to do it as part of my weekly stuff, so it might be a double weekend sometime. Like it would be maybe a Saturday and then a Sunday. I would do this special show on Saturday and then have my regular show on Sunday. And I'm going to reveal that one now. Some people already know about it right now, but I'm going to reveal it to everybody out there now. It's Dylan Knows Movies. People who know me know I have a lot of likes, a lot of things I enjoy. I enjoy holidays, comic books, supernatural, TV shows, and movies. I love movies. And what I want to do with Dylan Knows Movies is to make it a little bit more interactive with the Snark Alex. Try to get more of you guys onto the show because I pretty much have my co-host set for my regular show. And we need guests and stuff like that. Yeah, that's good, but I'd like to get more people on that I can, and the easiest way to do it is this way. So Dylan Knows Movies is probably something that's not going to start until January once I work out some issues and stuff like that. And what my plan is I will pick a Snark Alec who's interested in being a part of Dylan Knows Movies. We will agree upon a movie. We will watch a movie. It won't be together. We'll watch a movie on our own. And then basically we will do a show where we will discuss the movie. We will, break it down, make our comments, talk about acting, directing, music, the story, whatever. I've got an idea I want to do with Kelly. I have a couple of ideas I want to do with Mike. I have an idea I want to do with Tony and Scott. I have an idea I want to do with my lovely wife, Dawn. And that's just the beginning. There's a whole lot of other ideas I have. There's one I wouldn't mind doing with Jerry, Gigi. And basically MJ and I do it anyway when we talk about our Marvel movies. So we're already doing that also. So we might pick something that isn't comic book related, maybe. So and obviously doing with Larissa as well, and down the line with Bronwyn, her boyfriend Steve, whoever, whoever's out there. The McGevnas, I think we have. We discussed one briefly about what we want to do also. So that one, as I said, I've got a lot of ideas, and that one is pretty much an infinite one I could do where there's so many movies and just got to find somebody who likes a movie we like, both of us like, and we'll do it. Holly says I'm frozen now. Hopefully it's just on hers because I'm moving right now. Maybe that's a sign I should stop talking. thanks, Holly, for that. But hopefully, maybe everybody else can see me. Maybe it's just on your computer. I'm hoping because I can see myself pretty clearly on here. I don't appear to be frozen. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not. There's a possibility that I am. And once again, that shows that the tech, even though I beat the tech for this time with the microphone, it's still out there. Do I really have anything else I want to discuss? I don't think so, because if that's true, I mean, it is getting late. I just want to talk about the legacy of Snark Alc Radio and what's upcoming on Dylan Knows. And if I had more time, I might discuss more, but this was just a off-the-cuff one to try to test this microphone so that I'm ready for Sunday's show. So I think on this note, I'm probably going to take off. Just real quick, another sign that Kelly and Tony and Mike are all cool also is there. If you haven't been watching my fictional show, The Assistant, I highly recommend you check that out also. They're short 3-minute plus movies, TV show basically. It's a fictional story. I'm not going to get much into it because part of the fun is catching it, but it is a fictional version of myself, and it's a lot of fun. And those three guys who are so great, I think it started off as a joke, but as it spiraled into something a little more serious, have decided to do something called Talking Assistant, or they call it like Talking Ass, where they sit down and they discuss my show like they do on Walking Dead. And that itself is just an amazing thing as well. It makes me feel good too. So The Assistant, real quick, is my fictional show. New episodes drop every Monday usually. I try to do 2 episodes a week, drop them on there. And we're up to episode 26, I think, right now. And as I said, they're like 3 minutes plus. I think the longest one I did was 7 minutes, and that was the first episode. There's like a 6 and a 5 and a 4, and there's some really good stuff in there. One of my favorite episodes I've ever done of anything is in there. Just look for Reflection. My favorite episode so far of The Assistant, and probably one of my most favorite things I've ever done, is that. So check that out, and then check out Talking Assistant. Just keep an eye on. I'll retweet once they do it, and Tony and Kelly and Mike usually post when they're going to be doing it. Usually on Fridays, I think. So it's a fun show. Just hear what they think is going to happen in the show, and some of it is really interesting, and some of it is just typical Snark Alc Radio stuff. But it's fun, and it's a lot of fun. If you like Snark Alc Radio, you probably would enjoy that as well. For those who haven't been watching The Assistant, I will be running a marathon of The Assistant during Thanksgiving weekend, just because that's what they do during Thanksgiving is they run marathons of shows. So doing my show then. And I'll probably run a marathon of Dylan Knows also. One last show I want to discuss real quick, because I can't get enough time about myself, is the Comic Hall. Now, the Comic Hall is the show that is on the verge right now of dying. That was one that I might not be doing anymore, but we'll see. We'll see about that. That was every Wednesday or every couple of weeks. I sit down, I show everybody what comics I got for the week and discuss the artists, the writers, and show them off. I haven't had the urge to do it in a while, and maybe I need to get back into that. Maybe hopefully with this microphone getting fixed, it'll get taken care of. But financial things means I can't buy comics this week. So next week, if I did do one, it would be a double episode right around Thanksgiving. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, the Comic Hall is still around out there. You can catch it on my YouTube page if you want to see what that kind of looks like. But it's just basically me talking about my comic books. So if you're a fan of comic books, it might be fun to look at. But it's just basically what came out that week, and maybe to entice you to go to the comic book stores and buy stuff. So we'll see if I keep that up. Right now, that one is the least of my shows that I'm focusing on, but right now Dylan Knows and The Assistant are the 2 big ones, and you should totally check those out. Now, I've lost all my viewers, so either there's still technical issues or they're getting ready to go to bed because it is getting late. I think I've done everything I wanted to do right now with this. I just wanted to do a quick thank you to Snarkalic Radio for being my mentor. I'm proud to be a legacy of Snarkalic Radio, and hopefully get all you guys on the show again real soon, and we'll have a lot of fun. And hopefully, you know, if you've never seen Dylan Knows before, you know, go check it out on my YouTube page. Just go to your Google search engine or whatever searches you have and just type in YouTube Dylan Lang or Dylan Lang. Well, you can type in YouTube Dylan Lang, or you can just type in YouTube, and then when the YouTube screen comes up, it says search Dylan Lang, and you'll find my page. Even though there are a bunch of people named Dylan Lang, believe it or not. But you click on that, you can see episodes of The Assistant. I have playlists of every episode of The Assistant in one area, consolidated one area. All my episodes of Dylan Knows consolidated into one area, and all my episodes of The Comic Hall consolidated into one area. So you can just check out those playlists, or if there's just specific episodes you want to watch, go ahead and do it. As I said, we'll be running some marathons next weekend, and check it out. There should be 2 new episodes of The Assistant hitting on Monday. I've already got them filmed. I'm going to probably be filming a few more this weekend. That's great. And keep an eye out for Talking Assistant, also Talking Ass, because it is a fantastic show and I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've taken up enough of your time. I'm hoping all this is working out fine. I hope to see you all 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. It's going to be a great show. Dylan Knows International with Bronwyn and Amy. And once again, as I said, if you want to join in, hit me up on Twitter at HolloDill, and it'll be about 4:30 p.m. And if you're on, hopefully you'll be on Google Plus, and I'm following you, because that's really the only way I can get through to you to be on the show. So if not, we'll figure something out. All right. So come stay. Hopefully this will be a new era for Dylan Knows with me figuring out the microphone situation. And you got to stay tuned, because when I get my new computer, who knows what this is going to look like, right? All right. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, John and Helena Magevna, for watching and commenting. And I will be leaving you now. Good night, all, and thanks for watching. And watch Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dylan Knows International. Dylan, Bronwyn, Amy. All hail Snarkalic Radio and your mom's box.